Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too. Haha! Welcome to the Toy Duo team, coming to you every Saturday at noon. We're going to be talking about action figures and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm sure we're going to go off the rails here any minute. But as you can see, this was our thumbnail today. And I just want to say hello to all of the content creators that are part of the show. We got Rick from Left Coast Graphics, who is invisible today. No, he's out doing something. We got John from Super Awesome Geek Show. Now you're John Czar?
Yeah, like Kazar, but Janzar. Hey! I'm from the Savage Land today.
And we still have Geek Strong, who may call in or may not call in.
He's at a toy show.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, really big one.
To ask if we should start a poll.
Poll for? Not
a poll, like a bet.
Oh, to see if he calls in. Yeah. He should call us from the toy show is what he should do.
I suppose we could still do the gamble with a call.
Every time he's called me today, the connection's been really bad. Like,
does he have AT&T? Because
he beat me.
Well, I think it's because they're in a building. They're inside a mall or something. And
did I beat you?
Down in the underbelly of the mall. You know.
John. We know it's the aliens. You can quit covering up.
All right. Yeah. We got Dandy from Dandy 1981 here with us. Is that orange juice you're drinking? Fifth best co-host on YouTube.
Protein shake, man. I just finished my workout.
Nice. We got Fuller's Figures, who hasn't been with us for a while, but he still should be hanging out somewhere. Maybe he's at that same toy show. And Sir Eric Brown, who cannot be here as well. And those are our hosts that join us. And as you can see, I've had this for over a year in my garage, and I decided to rip it out of the box and put it up in my room until somebody decides that they want to sign for it when it comes in the mail. Here? So tell me how you think it fits. Can you guys totally tell? That's
he's not even here, is he?
No, he's probably he might be. He might be sitting in the background, like half asleep or something like that. I'm gonna take this virtual background thing off. All right. So, anyways.
Aww,
that was just a joke. Anyways, I'm gonna probably get together with him pretty soon so I can ship it off. But let's say hi to some people in the chat. We got Silver Scratch Productions saying hello, peeps. Sonny is saying g'day. John Super John says hey, not to be confused with John Czar.
No, yeah, they're totally different people.
Mod Extra Games is saying word up. Dandy 1901 and hey Silver Scratch and Sunny Moxtra Mod Extra, right? Probably with goods. We got Connor from Fuller's Figure. He is in the chat. Are we going to talk about Dan's hair? Do you want to talk about Dan's hair? You did get a haircut apparently.
I did.
Yes, it looks good.
I was good. Thank you. I've got nothing on you, man.
I just pulled this off the little styrofoam head in the morning. Stick it right on. Yep. Stays perfect. Let's see. Mod Extra Fabulous. Let's see. Dad's Taxi Service are keeping me away on Saturday evenings. You can always join us and cut out as soon as your taxi service comes up. Cat Vader Girl 28. Been doing her puzzling and stuff like that. Oh, did you see the Godzilla, the one that breathes the fire? That looked really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
What? So you got to load it, right? It's got to be some kind of steam.
I don't know. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Well, not steam. I'm sorry. Like mist and a light is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it was pretty cool. So Rolando.
I thought they would put steam in a kid's toy.
Well, you would put a packet of freeze-dried water and then add some water to turn it into the.
Sure.
Rolando's here saying hello.
Don't touch.
Yeah. Jonathan Redmond has joined us. I hear mostly to see what technical difficulties Super John has this week.
Just entertain, John.
How often do I have technical difficulties? Come on.
Well, because I keep giving you a hard time about how like you have the camera set up so that we make sure to see the edge of those display cases above your head, but then you're at the
I
bottom of your
can't
screen.
move the laptop.
G-forces out
You
here.
want me to try to like lower it or something? Oh, it's got a button here. I can actually lower it. This is gonna fall off, isn't it?
Go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Comes with the water dropper, Dan.
Well, Jonathan, you didn't have to wait long. Yeah, I saw a cat said
All right.
about that Godzilla.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that Godzilla.
Happy Duty 7th G-Force amazing achievement.
Did you guys catch whose was that? Who released that?
I don't know. I
What,
don't
the
know. It just
Godzilla?
looks really cool. I
Yeah.
don't.
Aren't they Mattel?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't collect too many like Godzillas. I have that one that I had since 1984, that plastic one. That's the only Godzilla that I have. You know what I missed? When remember, was it NECA or whatever was doing those Godzillas in the stores?
Oh, Jada does them. Jada Toys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
wasn't NECA doing them at one point?
Yeah.
Like
yep.
they did
I
the
think
King.
NECA does the. Yeah, they have some as well.
I think they stopped doing them because they lost the license, and I ran down to the store to finally buy one because I was putting it off, and they were all gone. So
They did?
I got the Godzilla from Godzilla versus King Kong from NECA, and that's. But they never made the King Kong from Godzilla versus King Kong.
no, they didn't. But I have that old black and white King Kong one from the original
but
movie. It has like a
I
plane.
I had one of those King Kongs, but it wasn't. He doesn't really match the right size. He's a little bit too big.
If I was thinking about getting that King Kong out of the package, getting some of my 12-inch GI Joe like gear and gearing them up, seeing how it would
there
look.
you go.
But I don't know if it would.
Well, he
actually
would look like one of the King Kong guys in the new movie.
right.
That gets all geared up with machine guns.
Did
and
you see? He
missiles.
has that like arm.
Yeah, mechanical arm. It's just
Who
so
built that
freaking
thing?
stupid. I'm like, this is where they actually jumped the shark, as they say. Because I go, I don't even know what's going on in this movie. I'm like, why do all the monsters suddenly have weapons and cybernetic parts? And it's just like, this is dumb as hell. Like, where did they go?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Came
So
across
I saw somebody mentioning Avatar in the chat. Silver Scratch says that Cat loved Avatar. Dan,
The Last
did you watch
Airbender?
it?
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes. It's really good. I have enjoyed it so far. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
So far. Yeah.
It's not like kind of like off like sometimes when they make like an animated show into a show, or does it feel like it was actually
No, it
designed to be like a show?
It feels the same as the cartoon to me. I like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the vibe is pretty close, and like for Aang and
For
I don't know,
Aang.
for Aang and Sokka, like nailed it. Like,
Yeah.
like they're living cartoon characters. Katara is not like
The fire kid is a little off to me.
yeah,
but-
Zuko. I
Yeah,
don't see
Zuko,
him being
yeah.
quite as accurate.
But
I like
freaking Paul is in it. He's awesome.
you see, yeah, the Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, he's
Oh my
a
God.
fantastic character.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't have picked a better character for that. That was great, and the bending moves. Like the
Oh, it
effects
looks
and
great.
stuff,
Yeah.
really
I'm gonna
good.
have to watch it. I haven't had a chance this week.
Well, I have to stop now because my mom wants to watch it. So
He wants to catch up.
we're gonna end up watching it together some weekend, I guess.
I had
I
to
was-
do the same thing with my wife. I had to stop on 2.
I spent my free time trying to finish off Quantum Leap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't even tried the second season yet.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, let me tell you how it ends.
Okay.
Well, no, the one thing that I thought I liked about, well, I know we're getting off Avatar. I haven't seen it yet, but you guys can keep talking about it if you want. Just real quick on the Quantum Leap, that they brought out Ziggy, the old little handheld, the original one, for the last episode, which was kind of fun. But
Huh.
let's see, Mod Extra. I've only watched the first episode. The green screen computer generated characters are a little bit jarring. It's like the Matrix sequels all over again.
Wow. I didn't think it was that.
The dude playing Sokka is 100% spot on. Did I say that right, Sokka? It's
Yeah.
scary how much he nails the cartoon.
Yeah, it's creep. Like I'm not kidding, man. It's like the live version of it's like they made the cartoon after this kid.
Yeah, you like
Zuko is,
Zuko?
I mean, he's killing the role. He just doesn't look much like Zuko,
Right.
but he's doing a good job.
All right. So you guys, 5 stars, highly recommend it.
I'll give it.
Well, I'd say 4.5.
Give it a 4. Yeah.
Okay. What about the Bad Batch? I'm sure you're both watching the Bad Batch.
Oh, episode 3 was fantastic.
Yeah.
1 and 2,
So skip
I'm
'em.
glad they didn't give. If they had just given us episode 1 and then like made people wait, I think everyone would have been like, "What the hell? This is terrible," But doing the 3, I understand why they dropped 3 because that 3rd episode was absolutely amazing.
So what would you like? I think out of the Bad Batch previous seasons, my favorite one was that when the stormtroopers are getting phased out, like he's realizing they're just phasing out the older versions, where they had all the new uniforms and they had that, which one I'm talking about? They're on that snow planet or whatever.
Yeah.
And I really like that story because I was kind of like, I kind of feel like I'm getting phased out at work a little bit. They just keep bringing the new guys in. And I'm like, I was in high school when you were born.
Yeah.
Or I was already working when you were born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you say why did you think episode 3 was so good? Tell us.
Well, for me, it was a little bit of that stuff. Like you could really see, like, I guess when I am enjoying the parts where we get to see the Empire switching from the Republic to the Empire. And so at any time they do stuff where you start seeing Crosshair more and more realize that, like, even though he was programmed to follow those orders and Order 66 like triggered in his brain where it didn't work in the other guys, he still is starting to come around to their way of thinking because he's seeing what's going on more and more. They've done this subtly over all of season 2 and now into season 3, where they keep bringing up, he's seeing how bad the clones are being treated, and they're all being replaced by these new stormtroopers and Republic commandos, which don't make any sense because they're not Imperial commandos, they're Republic commandos, but they're still using that armor for some reason. But I would think they would have got new armor, the commandos, and had been redubbed Imperial commandos. They're still using Republic commando armor,
Oh, interesting.
But but then also the whole cloning thing, I'm very interested in where they're going with this and what they're doing, and trying to tie it in, trying to figure out like what they're doing right now in the Bad Batch and tying it into what we know about the Mandalorian, which the Mandalorian stuff happens after Return of the Jedi. So it's like you start thinking like to yourself, wait a minute, if the blood sample for Omega came up with a high M count, which M count stands for metachlorians. So they actually got it. They got a sample to work, and they got a clone, which is Omega, to have a high M count. So they succeeded in what they were trying to do, but then they don't replicate it again all the way through to like Star Wars Empire Jedi, and then they're in the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? They still don't replicate that success.
So they're basically like making you feel like they've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, like 30 odd 40 years.
Because when is it ever going to work?
Yeah, and is it going to work? Like, and that's exactly why the reason they wanted Grogu was because they wanted to try and use him to clone, because he has such a high metachlorian count, a high M count they're calling it now, that they wanted to clone him to see if they could, is his blood, say like his clone material mixed with whatever they've learned so far in cloning could actually produce a force sensitive clone, because that clearly is the goal. If they're looking for a high M count, they want to have a force sensitive clone. And so I liked all that stuff with the Emperor. I liked seeing the Royal Guards. I liked seeing him like even be a little bit kind of ruthless with the guy that's working for him to try and get the cloning to work, because the cloning guy's like, I want to be in charge of the whole thing, and the Emperor's like, no, in due time you'll get your reward, but right now you're still working on it, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to reward you before you're done, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
And I like that stuff, and
Yeah.
seeing, you know, the Emperor, seeing that the Royal Guards have now turned into Royal Guards. They look like Royal Guards. You know what I mean? And those things are what I like to see, is how it transitioned from the Republic to the Empire, and how all the new uniforms and all the new equipment came about, because like the Emperor was still using a Republic shuttle. He didn't actually get a new Imperial shuttle yet, in Imperial style. But by Rebels, we know they have Imperial style shuttles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So somewhere between Bad Batch and Rebels, they go away from using the Republic ships and move into using these Imperial ships. And I'd like to see that transition. Like we're still seeing them using those the TIE fighters with the wings that fold, and they have a pointed front end, you know, where you can see it, they fold up and they look almost like a TIE fighter silhouette, but they're not quite a TIE fighter yet. You know what I mean? And those were still around in the Republic days. The Republic forces were using those in Revenge of the Sith, you know?
Yeah. So I see that Gary's Grails has joined us, and Rick from Left Coast Graphics is here. Unfortunately, he's not on the show today, but I did want to show everybody a new segment that when Rick's here, what we're going to do is we have a segment called Pick Your Controversial Topic, Point and Counterpoint, where the segment will have adult language and you will have to cover the ears of your children while we're doing that segment. So unfortunately, Rick's not here, so we'll probably just do the family-friendly version today.
Well, Rick has a theory. Blue-eyed cloning guy is Snoke. Rick has got a brand new theory.
He's got a theory that we will not agree with, and there will be a lot of language.
Point and counterpoint. No.
Do you remember that from Saturday Night Live?
I was gonna say no connection.
Yeah. That was a thing, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, that will be your response, right? Rick, you. I'm just kidding. All right.
Uh-oh. Connor likes that one.
He likes it. Yeah, see? And you know what Connor was saying, that he's like, I'm allowed to swear. But Connor was saying that like he didn't watch the Bad Batch, so he's glad he didn't join. You know who else has not watched the Bad Batch?
You, because it's a cartoon.
You know what? I am gonna try to give season 3 a chance, though. I do want.
Are you gonna watch X-Men 97?
You know what? The funny thing is I never really watched that X-Men cartoon.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of like I wasn't, watching like then. You know what I mean? I think the most recent like cartoon that I was watching back in, that was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Was probably when my brother would work on something like that. Spectacular Spider-Man I really liked, but that didn't hang around very long. There was probably a couple other things that I like watched, but I would have to like try to recollect my memory on it. But the last time I was really watching midweek afternoon like animated shows was when like Robotech was like airing all the time.
Yeah.
So after
even in, well, I mean, I know some of this stuff like didn't come out till college. Really, it was like, but like I graduated high school in 91, and like I remember like 88 or 89, 90, 91, like those time frames. My friends and I at high school would like be itching to leave class, and it would end at 2:30, and we would either race down the street. We would take off through the apple orchard that was behind the high school, and like we'd run over the hill and go to my friend Nofrio's house. Or if someone had a car, sometimes someone had a car that was willing to drive, and we would run to their car in the parking lot and race to my house. And we would get like we would take like boxes of cereal out, get bowls, pour milk, and we'd eat bowls of cereal while watching the afternoon cartoons, and then at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, when those cartoons were all done, then we would go out for the afternoon and do our rambunctious running around and whatever. We would get ourselves in trouble and
right in 90
or whatever,
90, 91, 92, I was like at SDSU, so classes, work, surfing, and then playing, like, I remember we were playing like Wing Commander.
Yeah. I remember that game. Yeah,
the All Ends of the Night and stuff like that. But I don't even remember sitting down and watching that much TV during that time.
So I have a question. Is it? I'm curious if is it a continuation? Is it a standalone? Are they gonna?
No, X-Men 97, the first episode, based on the preview. So in the last episode of X-Men from when we were kids, pardon me, the mansion, they get attacked, and Xavier's at a hearing on mutants, and one of the guys calls him out and says, "Is your love for mutants because you're a mutant yourself?" And he has a mutant tester in his pocket, and he hits it, but it reacts with Xavier's mind abilities and amplifies and basically shuts his brain off and puts him in a coma. And Wolverine and Beast and Storm, I think, are all there in the audience, and they have to come up and they basically take Xavier back. And by the end of the episode, they're basically still fighting this registration act that the guy wants to put in place. He wants to catalog and register every mutant. And the show ends basically right there. They didn't even continue it. So this is going to pick up where that left off and keep going,
Yeah, I thought they closed that storyline out.
So I just rewatched the last episode, the last season, and then that last episode just a few days ago to catch up.
Huh. So how many seasons were there on that original run?
There was 5 seasons. Most seasons had about 20 to 30 episodes, but the last season 5 only had like 15 or 16 episodes.
Can you imagine? Do you remember when you watch? We do a lot of streaming shows now, and they're all like 10, 11 episodes, and sometimes 6 episodes or 8. But if you watch a regular show on a network like The Rookie or Chicago Fire or whatever, they're
FBI,
20 to 25 episodes.
Yeah,
for a season. And that used to just be a standard, right, to get a season.
I thought so. Where did
and I wish that some of the streaming shows would actually go that long. That's why I'm interested in this one, because isn't X-Men going to have about 18 episodes or so? There's a lot, isn't there? So
I guess for animation, right? Like you have the teams of writers writing, and then you got the storyboard, and then you got it moving into animation, and they do all the episodes, then they do all the music and voices and stuff. So all the animators and stuff like that, and the drawers are kind of pretty much done by the time they get around to doing the sound and the voices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's not until like close to that point, I think, that they are told that, you're going to do another season if they're at the end of their contract or whatever, or they just keep working through it, right? Because it takes a couple of years to get something from start to finish. But like a regular TV show, they start doing the writing, then they start filming while the writing's happening. The writer's in, but they're still filming. I don't know how it really works. I'm just speculating.
And rewatching a lot of some of this X-Men stuff kind of hit something on me, because I know a number of times I've brought up like what I really think that streaming services should do, like say Disney Plus or Netflix or anyone who's coming up with these shows. Like, Netflix has Transformers, and Netflix has He-Man and Masters of the Universe. They're probably going to end up with G.I. Joe. So and Disney has Marvel and Star Wars. Like, what I really think they should do, I've said it a number of times, is especially for like Star Wars and Marvel, just have a Marvel TV show, a Star Wars TV show, And then we could get one episode that's centered around Obi-Wan Kenobi in this period. We could get like a 3-episode arc that's like after Return of the Jedi. We could get, then you could go back to something that happened in the Clone Wars, or you could tell a story that's like 2 episodes about Plagueis and go all the way back like 100 years or something, and just have like a little timeline thing or something at the beginning of the arc that tells you where this fits in. And a lot of people have told me that would never work. That will never work as a television show.
Right.
But then it hit me when you're watching the X-Men cartoon from the 90s, it's not in chronological order. There's sometimes an arc that goes for 4 or 5 episodes, and those episodes actually happen before season 1. And then they do like, then they go into like Days of Future Past, where now you've jumped all the way to the future 100 years, and they have multiple
time travel in the X-Men.
They have multiple timeline things going on sometimes, and it was like, and then one time they're in outer space with the Shi'ar Empire and everything, and doing something totally out there. So I'm like, they jumped around in the past, and then I thought, wait a minute, the Star Wars show, The Clone Wars, that went on for 8 seasons, was extremely popular, arguably one of the most popular Star Wars things ever done, is not in chronological order either. It's a span of 3 or 4 years, but they jump.
Yeah.
They jump around from battle. You'll see like 3 or 4 episodes talking about the Battle of Christophsis, and then a year later in season 2, you'll get another couple episodes about the Battle of Christophsis that connects to the stuff that happened in season 1. You know what I mean? So they jumped around. So there's plenty of examples of shows, at least in cartoons, that jump around timeline, and the audience never really got confused. We figured out what was going on. So, and there's lots of websites now that are like, if you want to watch the Clone Wars in chronological order, here's the order you should watch each episode. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And some people have gone back and figured that stuff out, So I really think that like they could do a Star Wars show like that and just every week give us something new. And you could have multiple teams working on it, multiple groups. Because it's not like they broke the Clone Wars into 12 different short series that were 6 episodes each and went, here's the Battle of Christophsis from start to finish. And then they went, okay, now we're doing the Clone Wars Battle of, Geonosis, and like breaking it all up into small little like 6-issue miniseries things,
I almost wish that instead of like a series, sometimes like with like 20-minute episodes or 40-minute episodes, right, where you have to wait each week, I almost wish that like just maybe every 2 months they just release like a 2-hour like movie.
Yeah, or something,
Anyways,
I like that closure.
What?
Folder images of Rogue's butt have also been a disappointment. Yeah, I did notice that how rounded and voluptuous her butt and chest were in the cartoon, the old 90s one, and how that you can't get away
they were
with
writing for the 90s, dude. It was like Married with Children, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can't get away with that today. The certain groups will freak out.
Well, just wait till you get to the reveals, right? Action figure. Anyways, what I wanted to do was do the creator spotlight. So this week, the creator spotlight is Ryan Poggi Artworks. And
Our last week's creator spotlight guy really enjoyed his spotlight.
He did. He was very appreciative.
He thanked you and was very appreciative of the spotlight,
which I thought was actually really, really cool that he kind of reached out and was like that. And then actually told us that van that he showed in last week's, the Punisher van, is actually the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van that with the pizza shooter, and he just spray painted it black. So I thought that was really cool that he watched and then said, hey, you guys were talking about this. This is the van. And it's what, like 40 bucks?
Yeah.
$40. So anyways, Ryan Ryan Poggi art. I hope I'm not killing like the title there. Dan
is that Ares?
What?
The God of War?
Yeah, I think so. Dan sent this over. I looked
looks
through the
like one
guy's
of the-
profile and stuff. It looks really good. I just put his link in the chat, so give him a follow. I did like this one with Ant-Man on the giant Lego, and I'm wondering, did he take his Ant-Man to the Lego store to take that picture, or do you think he has a giant
Well,
Lego at home?
I don't think I even saw that one.
I think he's got a giant Lego at home because it looks kind of dirty.
It
Like
does,
he's-
right? But I
like
mean,
They have storage bins that look
oh,
like
maybe
a
that's what
giant
it
Lego
is.
brick.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like, because I was thinking the only other thing I can think of is that he goes to Legoland out here, and maybe they have some giant Legos at Legoland as part of the displays. But then there's this Matrix shot that I thought was really cool.
That's
awesome.
actually a picture of the movie. That's not an action.
That's
figure.
actually action figures. I looked very closely at it, and then
I think he's got probably the scene from the movie on his TV or something.
he's recreated it quite a few scenes. He had the Justice League standing on the top of the building. That looked really cool. I didn't grab that one. I did take that Deadpool picture and pop it up there because I thought it was appropriate since we just got that Deadpool trailer like a week ago. I do like the Superman punching Batman, the use of all.
I want to know how he got the dirt to fly up. Like it looks like he's
probably like a puff of like a can of air or something. But maybe if he ever checks us out, he'll let us know that too. How did you get the dirt to fly up?
Well, it looks like he's in motion. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yes.
Like
well, the
Batman looks like he's moving, you know?
Right?
Very, very, very fast shutter speed and a small air pump usually.
Maybe Superman came to life and really punched the Mayfix Batman.
Or that.
And in the photo, Batman's not really moving; he's just sat that way.
Probably, yeah.
Good posing, man.
It could be that he's rigged it up with wires to create actual movement.
Yeah, and just snap the picture.
Anyway, so those are the ones that I grabbed. If you want to check out more of his action figure photography, go check him out on Instagram. Ta-da!
Give him a follow.
And then just so we can keep talking about toys a little bit, we know that the Transformer Legacy Robots in Disguise Omega Prime is fully funded and is at $15,000, which means you get a giant sword. So, John, does that giant sword bring it up to a $249.99 price point for you? Or is it still too darn expensive?
We need the stand.
Okay, so once it gets to the stand, you're in.
I might be. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Did you watch the video of the painted versions or whatever, where they painted the models and they showed them off on their little video on Hasbro Pulse?
No, I actually didn't see that.
Yeah, so they made another video to show off the painted models. Dan, did you happen to check them out?
I did not.
Yeah, they look pretty good. I mean, I'm not a big Transformers. Just so you know, I did buy some of those Transformer Reds at Ross because I totally wanted to bring them home and do some stop motion of them transforming. And then I realized the red versions are like non-transforming versions.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
But they look super cool. So I guess it's a win-win on that. Let's see. I'm going to share one more screen here.
Speaking of discount stores, I got all those
at Five Below
Masters of the Universe things from Five Below. That was crazy.
$5.
Yeah.
All right. So today they had the in-stock sale for Mythic Legions over there at the Store Horseman.
$110.
Well, this guy's like gigantic. Okay. So
yeah, but I can't.
But look, the Army Builder Deluxe Barbarian is $26. You would have to pay like 40 something bucks for that. The Deluxe Dark Templar Legion Builder's $26, right? You got a Gladiator for $26. So this is where you can get your standard Builder Legions figures for like $26. Then you get the standard version of these other ones for $37. The bigger they get, they keep adding money to them. The horse is $55, which is a good deal.
Oh wait, that ogre's $20.
What?
Is that ogre 20? Oh, ogre scale accessory pack.
It's accessory pack. And then you got like, look at this Templar Relic Guard Legion Builder, $26. And I think the way to go with something like that is maybe get these guys and then get like the head pack or whatever. That way you can throw different heads on them or something. And then you got couple of these Cosmic Legions down here. The thing is, right away, the Valiant Knight sold out. I think everybody wanted that one. Tibia sold out. You got the Unknown One Standard Edition sold out, and the Stone Troll is now sold out. But pretty much all of their other stuff is in stock right here on their store. So if you go over there and check it out, you can pick up some Mythic Legions at regular retail price.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's take a look back. Brian Myers has joined us saying hello. Anybody else jump in? All right.
I think that was it.
All right. And then did you guys have a topic? Do you guys want to argue about something on the point and counterpoint, or we just want to wait for Rick?
I thought it was time for hot or not.
Oh, do you want to do that now?
Hot or not?
All right. We keep talking about the action figures then.
I
When we
like
do
the
the
Marvel
hot.
stuff.
What?
I like this Marvel wave that's coming.
All right, the hot or not section. These are the toys that are being peddled this week to us by your action figure companies. They're going to be hot, made of fire. You're going to want them in your collection, or they're just not going to be hot, which means they're going to be super cold, like icy, like the little knot is going to be like frozen at the store, end up at Ross, and then it might end up in your collection, even though you never really wanted it in the first place.
But it's $5.99 and you can't pass.
Right, because at Five Below, John was able to get all of the Masterverse figures he never wanted for his collection.
Yeah. Well, I never really thought I'd want the Sorcerer, but when I saw the Sorceress for $5, I want the Sorceress.
Right. Well, funny thing is, I was at Ross earlier. I picked this guy up only because he's $7.99.
Dino, you're on Vern's channel with Oakhurst Studios and the Toy Duo team.
Hey, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in for the hot or not section. And, I think everything there is pretty hot.
Hey, is he at a toy show?
I just wanted.
Are you still at the toy show?
No, I'm all done. I'm at Walmart right now.
Oh,
I was gonna. You should have phoned in from the toy show.
Vern wanted you to show us all the toys.
Oh, well, I'm gonna do a quick recap on.
Can you hold up the phone to the camera so everybody can see his phone number?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay. Everybody call Dino now.
Everyone wants me to pick them up something. Hey, can you get me that? Can you get me this?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Some fun stuff I got. So, but I just wanted to
for your toy show.
Hey, everyone, and give my 2 cents for the hot or not section, because I put on the video and I saw you guys at that section.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
All right. Okay, bye.
Bye, Dino.
All right, and back to the hot or not section. We got.
So who won the bet? Did he call in? And who picked?
We didn't take it.
Who picked 37 at the 37-minute mark? You know.
Unfortunately, there was no bet. We do got Steve-O from Collecting Star Wars join us in the chat.
What's up?
What's up? All right, so the very first one that I thought I'd throw up there is this reveal by Mezco, where they're going to give us the Goonies.
Yay!
But I don't understand this Goonies because, you know, Mezco puts this little thing down in the corner where they're calling them. Let me see if I can find it.
They're not very posable, are they?
No, they're
statues, figures.
They're calling them points, 5 points. So these are like 5 points of articulation Mezcos or something like that. Really? So does that mean like these are going to be cheaper than their regular $1 million Mezco toys?
I don't know. And can I take that map down to the Oregon coast and like find the secret treasure?
What if I buy these figures and then I buy like more of those short rounds and I just do head swaps so they're fully posable?
There you go.
Are these re-releases or are these?
I don't know.
Brand new.
I think that
Baby Ruth. Oh, Baby Ruth. Rocky Road.
Well, you got one half of the kids from the Lost Boys, if you're interested,
yeah.
Right? Or you can do. You got one. Is it how many guys were?
Yeah,
one third of the Stand By Me group. Or was
Isn't
Sean
Thanos in this movie too?
What?
Thanos
Brolin?
was his older brother, wasn't he?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I think
He
if they're going
grew
to do
up-
the Goonies, they
he
need to
grew
do
up to
all
be-
of them, right? Like even the older brother and the girlfriend and stuff like that. You got to have the whole crew
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
pirate ship. I want. A
I
pirate
thought the girlfriend was hot when I was a kid.
Of course it did. Everybody. Everybody. All right. And then some Spawn stuff came out. This is the Commando Spawn.
That's cool. He looks
Pretty cool.
cartoon-like.
It does look really cool. I mean, like if the accessories come off, that could go on my King Kong figure.
Is his new movie animated? Is that why he's doing this?
I have no idea.
They look like an animated style, don't they?
Yeah, a
He
little
did,
bit.
he did a few of them, didn't he?
I mean, his little bullet thing looks like the little Nerf gun thing. So I don't know if there's like a Nerf tie-in.
Nice
Kinda
little advertisement there.
Yeah. All right. Anybody? No. Brian Myers.
No,
did he say fire on this one, or did he say fire on the other one? The Goonies. The Goonies. Oh, let's see. All right. Let me get rid of that, and then I'm going to share my screen on one in a minute. But let's see. What about this? Was this already announced before? Or was this like a new reveal?
Deceased Nightwing.
I don't know. Is that his own heart? Look at the blood stain on his chest. Does that mean he ripped his own heart out?
I think so, because because what's he holding otherwise?
Somebody else's art, maybe.
He got his heart from the wrong side.
Or is that? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, right. Because that's not where your heart is. Well, he would have to go through the bird. He didn't want to mess up the bird. I'm not into any of these just because of the scale, honestly. Spawn. This is Hell Spawn.
All good-looking figures, though.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, being the #1 selling action figure in the 90s, Spawn making a comeback here.
Yeah. I want to see what the new movie's like. I really can't wait to see what he does with this.
Yeah. Rick's taking credit for revealing this one.
I think those were retools, man. Those Goonies figures from Mezco, I've got a release of 2007.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks like the exact same chunk figure.
Really?
Yeah, they
Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
He just remolded them and re-released them.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Todd McFarlane figure. Who's going to run out and buy Todd McFarlane?
I want it, man. I don't want a 2-pack, but I want it. I want the Toddy, man.
It is cool to say like, yeah, I'm going to get a Todd McFarlane, because I will probably buy this, and if I ever find out he's like at Comic-Con or something like that, I will do what I can to see if I can get it signed. Right?
Oh,
I think that would be like cool. I mean, and I think it's cool, that he has a toy company that he's finally making an action figure of himself. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I would have done that right away.
Oh, wouldn't? Yeah, right?
Yeah. And then let's see, Batman.
That's a good Batman.
You know what he's going to do, though? He's like, I think I seen you on the Toy Duo saying, no, you're not into any of my action figures, so why the hell would I sign this thing?
Yeah, right. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Sonny's got an anatomy lesson for us here.
The heart is pretty much in the center. That's what I said. It had to go through the bird, right? Which is in the center. All right. And then this guy right here.
Oh, yeah. Is that Azrael? Or is that the...
So my problem is that they don't come with the stuff that
That's the Nightfall. No, that's the Nightfall Batman, isn't it?
I think I was looking at the picture. You know what I need to do? I need to be jotting down all the names so that there's never argument about it.
Yeah, I think this is the Nightfall Batman, or what is it? Knight's Crusade. What was right after Nightfall?
I want to say you were right that it's the Azrael, though.
Was it Azrael who put on a Batman suit? Is that what it is? Okay, maybe it is. And then Nightwing put it on after him?
Yeah, let me find the...
Because Azrael went crazy, right? When he was Batman and they had to stop him?
Yeah, first look, Azrael, Batman armor from Batman Nightseed.
What was it?
Nightseed.
Night Siege? Okay, yeah. It was right after
Nightfend. Batman
Night. It was right after Nightfall, and then they had this Night something else.
Yeah, Night's End.
Night's End? Okay.
Yeah. they put it all in work. And then, of course, Fire and Ice came out with their Tigra figure. Are you guys now into this? Are you gonna jump right on it? If Rick was here, he has 5 of them on pre-order, I think. I think these are kind of like along the lines of those executive replica, the Red Sonja and stuff like that.
Oh, those are.
A lot of the girls in that movie were naked the whole time.
Yeah. I'm not into the Fire and Ice. I didn't get the other one, so.
But those Red Sonja and that Purgatory and the other, those are just amazing looking figures. I don't know how they
look great. I mean, I seen like I watched a couple of the reviews on them, and I guess they got some interchangeable parts or something like that. It just sort of weird, but whatever. Yeah, Mod Extra is saying 1 for Articulated Ninja. Yeah, that's who will give you the review. What about this Mezco 112 Captain America? Look at John, just not impressed, and that's like a comic book version of Captain America.
I mean,
yeah, it's not bad, but
we have enough.
This guy reminds me.
It's got to be 12-inch, not 6. It's got to be a 12-inch figure, not a 6-inch.
This figure right here in this outfit reminds me of that movie that you have on VHS.
Yeah, it's the cheesy.
Yeah.
I have it on DVD, but not.
Do you remember when they made that made for TV Captain America, where he rode around on with a motorcycle helmet with like a glass shield in front, and then his shield was actually see through? It was like
I don't think I remember
that would sit on the front of the motorcycle, and then they did this really cheesy thing where it's like flying through the air.
Was that a thing that only happened to Japan?
No, it was an American release movie. It was Captain America.
What?
He had like a motorcycle. I think it was like in the back of a van, and then he would ride it out of the back of the van.
I don't know if I remember that.
Glass shield with like the stripe and it was like
he never showed up on the Incredible Hulk.
Really bad. Okay, Mezco 112, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Anybody?
No.
Let's see. Somebody's got their first Mezco, right? Like Mod Extra. I got my first ever Mezco figure the other day. A local independent had a flood and was selling off stock super cheap. Picked myself up a Cyclops for $20. That's not bad.
Oh yeah.
I think I would probably pick something like this up too if I could get a deal like that, but I'm not spending the full price.
Well, I got the 3PO and R2D2, and they're really good. I like, they look amazing, but I just don't think they're worth that kind of money for a 6-inch figure.
Right. I don't either, especially like was somebody saying the cloth just makes Mezco look like expensive Mego repacks. Yeah. So Connor's saying that. I don't like the cloth. What?
Mod said, or not Mod, sorry, Jonathan. He didn't like the cloth either.
Yeah, I don't like the cloth on. You remember like not necessarily the Migos, but like maybe like 15, 20 years ago, they came out with these like cloth figures that were like a little bit bigger than 6 inches or whatever. They were like 8 inches. They were just like the Migos, but they were they had like Cyclops, and I remember seeing them at KB Toys where they were like comic book version or whatever, and they had everybody, like the X-Men. They had the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I think Toy Biz made those.
Yeah, they had a Captain America and his mouth was open like this.
Yeah,
something like that. They just looked really bad.
I see them once in a while at a show, and they still don't look that good.
Yeah, and to me the cloth just doesn't hold up over time. What about these?
Whoa,
Mezco. You guys like the horror stuff, right?
Oh, the Terrifier.
Are you into these, Dan?
Son of Chucky. They're a little out of my price range, but I like the figures. Yeah.
So wait a minute. When Chucky got together with the girl Chucky, they actually did have a baby. That was a doll.
I don't think that's how it works.
Like whose soul possessed that doll?
A part of each of theirs. I don't know. So one's a 112 figure and one's like something else. What is that Chucky kid?
Well, Chucky's are small. They're only like, so
I'm
they
guessing.
probably made like a 6-inch Chucky.
It's called a MDS Mega. What's that? Is that like a full scale like action figure or something that stands up on its own?
Yeah, it kills you. It has a knife.
They have a whole bunch of different products. I'm going to share my screen now because I saw this announcement today and I thought I'd show it off. And
Like Megan, you think you got a toy, and then she kills you.
so they got this Wednesday Mezco that they announced, but it's a Roto plush. So is that like the body is like all like a plush, like a teddy bear type doll or whatever, and
I
then it's
don't
got like
know.
a
That's
hard face? Because the only other plush thing that I saw was Ghost Face. And it had,
kind
like,
of crazy. Like
hard plastic. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
It looks like that Mega is they're the big heads.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
It's like an off disproportionate.
All right. Mezco put out a whole bunch of stuff today. I think a lot of it looks really cool.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. You getting any of these, Dan?
I don't know. I probably
Terrifier?
not. I think I'm gonna peek at the.
boy, the clown's head sculpt looks really good.
It does
Yeah.
look good.
I'll stop at the Toonie Terrors Terrifier.
All right. And then this is a Fig Q or whatever 3016 scale Commando Snake Eyes. John?
It's pretty cool, but I already got a Snake Eyes, so I don't need them.
Oh, don't need them. Dan?
Nope.
All right.
Got
If
enough
I
of
didn't
them.
already have the version 2 Snake Eyes, I would have considered this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because that version 2, that Snake Eyes is just amazing. From 3.0 that I got, the 12 inches. It's incredible.
All right. Blacked Out Ewoks has joined us saying hello. And then,
Yeah,
of course,
that's great.
this is part of that Mythic Legions thing that is on sale. Let's see. I think
But that's the Adventure People guy.
yeah,
I have him. Do you want me to go get him?
this is the adventure guy.
Looks like Mr. Freeze.
I mean, he comes with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And then another Mythic Legions. Just showing those off because they're having their sale today.
Skeleton guy. That's cool.
And then, of course, the Marvel Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave.
Yeah.
John's going to buy 2 of every figure in this set so he can have 2 Zabu.
No, I was like, I want Cable. I've been needing a Cable, a good cartoon version of Cable, and this is an awesome Cable.
I
And
like
then
that.
I was like,
Wolfman.
and I want Kazar, and I want Zabu, but I don't want the other figures because they're not my time period. I didn't get into Alpha Flight and whatever she was. Is she X-Force? I don't know.
I think so.
But
Wasn't
I
she
didn't
like
get
a
into that.
New Mutant in the beginning.
Is it New Mutants? She might be a New Mutant. Yeah, I didn't get into some of that stuff till like way later, so it wasn't. I don't really feel like I need those figures. But I probably will end up buying them to get the parts for Zabu and then sell the figures because I've done that in the past. And sometimes you make out. You can sometimes end up selling people who are into that, she might actually still sell for the $20. You know what I mean?
I was looking on and I wanted to see if I can find this again. So
that is true. Cable had giant guns. You're right. Those guns are kind of small for Cable.
Jonathan said Cable's guns look cool, but those are too small for that era.
Too small?
That's what he said.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think like they had this head sculpt already, right? Where they did it with like a head, like a 3-pack thing. It was like 3 different heads with one figure body because they were making, I think, the New Mutants or whatever it was.
The Wolfsbane or the Cable?
Wolfsbane.
Yeah. No, she was wasn't it exclusive? An exclusive?
I thought it was. Let me see if I can find it in here.
It was a Walgreens exclusive or something, and you had to get because it was one figure with 3 different heads.
Yeah, because what I did was I actually used the body for that.
Yeah.
so that I could make this version of Magic with
Yeah,
the
that's
metal
right.
arm.
Yeah.
But and then I used, where is it? I used Moonstar's head.
Oh,
yeah.
America Chavez. Yeah.
To give
That's actually a really good idea.
Spirit Iron Knife a.
But I do have a feeling that when I open this girl, the Shadow, what is she, a Shadow something?
Uh-huh.
When I do open her, I have a feeling that she's going to be so awesome, I'll probably end up keeping her.
This one right
But
here.
I'm not getting Iron Man at all because he doesn't have a bath part.
Well,
and I
you're
don't
gonna.
need that Iron Man.
He doesn't have a Build-A-Figure part, right?
No, and I don't
Yeah.
need that Iron Man. He doesn't look that good.
Yeah, it's like, what is this, like the standard Toyota Corolla paint job?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about on this cloak right here is it's not going to be very flexible, and
No.
pretty much this is your pose.
This is how you got to have it. Yeah, yeah.
There's not a whole lot you're going to be doing with it.
And she's got a weapon from Star Wars Praetorian Guards.
Yes, exactly. It's probably the Praetorian's cape. They just like took a blow dryer and like bent it all out.
Bent it different, yeah.
No wonder Hasbro has nothing to do with us. Let's see. There's your favorite.
Look at that.
Kazar. He looks awesome. It's kind of like having Kazar, and then if I could ever find a Craven, that would be kind of cool. But don't these guys? I put these two together because I'm like wondering, do they look a lot alike? Could they be brothers?
A little bit, maybe.
Well, that's He-Man from the 90s when He-Man went into space.
Oh, okay. You know who Kazar could be? If you really wanted to, he could be Dar from Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just do a little bit of like paint mock-up and you can have your own Beastmaster figure.
You could even make him, put a vest on him and he could become Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a lot of opportunities with that figure. There's a lot of opportunities.
Are these up for pre-order?
Yes.
Yeah, they just did. Entertainment Earth, Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store.
Any more?
I don't know.
All right. And then anybody here for these guys at all? Kazar for sure, right?
Yeah, Kazar for sure.
We were just talking about that too, because we were like, remember we were talking about the Mythic Legions and stuff like that, and we were saying, well, how do they fit in with anything? But then if you get the Barbarians or whatever, was it the Barbarians? And we were like saying like, oh, well, they can kind of fit in with this, but I think the size difference will be off a little bit, right?
It would, yeah, I would think. I wonder if they'd scale with if the Motu figures.
Rick is saying, who is Beastmaster? Says everyone younger than 40. You know what's funny about him saying that? Do you guys ever watch this movie War Games?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but
Matthew Broderick one?
Yeah, when they're trying to figure out the password to get into like the NORAD computer system or whatever, they're watching some video of the original designer of the software. And is it Ali Sheedy? Is that who it is in the movie? She's like talking about the guy, and she says, "Oh, he's attractive" or something like that. And she says, "Is he still alive?" And then Matthew Broderick goes, "Oh no, he died." Right? And then she goes, "Oh, he seems very young." And he goes, "No, he's 41 here. He was old." And she goes, "Oh yeah, that is old." And I'm like, and I only know that because I was sitting downstairs. War Games was on HBO, and that's the line that came through. And I wanted to rewind it, but it was live. So I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, back in the 80s, back in the early 80s, people only lived to be 60 years old. So
yeah, but for them on the movie to be like, "Oh yeah, that is old."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Right. I felt so old. Anyways, and there is Zabu right there. Big, gigantic saber-tooth.
I've seen quite a few comments about they want the Zabu and not.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately you got to buy the whole wave to get them, but I mean, like, it's kind of smart marketing in a way, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because they're going to sell a bunch of figures. Now, the thing is, like, that Creative Bee Studios had that Sabretooth, and they actually made it in a 1/12 scale, their version, but it was like I think it was like $60 or $55 on the Kickstarter or whatever. It'll probably be a little bit more expensive buying it afterwards. Supposed to be super realistic. That's why I had posted a picture of them side by side. But the thing is, I'm kind of glad I didn't get that other one, because this one I think is going to be probably a little bit easier to pose, maybe, and I think will fit in better with your figures. I just want somebody for a Recondo to go hunting.
Go with Recondo, you mean?
Yeah, I'm going to use this with my GI Joes, right?
About
This guy's
Recondo.
Yeah, this guy's going to.
Well, I don't think Recondo ever had a saber-toothed cat in the toy in the.
He's going to be hunting him.
Maybe Craven.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, I don't have a Craven, so if I had Craven might go hunting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then, of course, this is the Thor.
Dark Thor.
Thor. I think.
And again, this one looks cool. That maybe once I get it open and I'm playing around with it, I'll be like, oh, I got to keep this one too.
Yeah, this is one that I'll probably definitely pick up just because I think it's really neat. I like the way it looks. The problem I'm going to have is the same thing that I have with that, because I have the Medusa from that San Diego Comic-Con pack, and the hair is really long, right? And I use the hair to help the figure stand up, because otherwise the figure wouldn't stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think this might be Mafex, John Wick 3. Anybody John Wick?
No.
Yeah. All right. So nobody here.
Well, I mean, he looks good, but I don't need an action figure of something that you only ever get one of. Like, they need to do. I don't know. There's certain properties that, to me, they don't lend themselves to being like an action figure line. Like it's like, why do I want?
Yeah, but I think like if you had the John Wick or whatever, he easily fits in with, like, I guess it for your collecting is different than my collecting, because I'm sort of mix and match, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're not doing that. Like, I'm mixing and matching. I'm putting Marvel Legends heads on some of my GI Joes and stuff like that. So I think that, like, I took this Spider-Man right here and I did this version where I put Flint's head on him so he can be like kind of secret agent Flint.
Yeah.
And I think that it just depends, right? Like, so like that John Wick could look good with that figure or whatever type of thing.
Hey, Figure Fever.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Figure Fever. Good afternoon. All right. I think we have come to the end of the hot or not section, but there were quite a few other things going on, right? Like, I'm trying to see, like,
did we ever talk about Borderlands? I know it's not really a toy thing, but
the show.
Yeah,
there's going to be a movie, right?
It's based. Yeah, I don't know if
video game.
Anybody's ever played Borderlands the game, but
I have.
I played it for a day and took it back to the store and convinced them to give my money back.
Ouch!
Really? Is that bad?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters, and I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's like I played all three of them. I like at least twice through, and probably more than that on the second one. I was pretty excited. I mean, it's got a pretty big cast, and I didn't know if anybody else had played the game or was interested in the
I do think the story is pretty cool, but I just didn't like. I just don't enjoy that type of play style.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, you got to like shooters, otherwise you're just gonna hate it.
Well, let me know if this comes through in the sound.
Oh yeah. You see Kate Blanchett as Lilith? Oh, yep. Sonny called me out. Forgot about the prequel with you talking about Jack.
It doesn't come through, does it?
I heard something, but it wasn't very
Yeah, I was trying to like share the trailer. The trailer came out, but anyway.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it wasn't letting me like share it. But I'll pull up the poster. So there's the poster. It looks good. I mean, it looks flashy and stuff like that. But I mean, is this going to end up being like another one of those video games made into a movie that just kind of like peters out? Should this have been a Peacock Plus TV series?
How, man, you guys are brutal.
No, I'm just
Sonny. No, you said what you said, and then I'm reading Sonny's. He said the fans not happy because Kate Blanchett and Jamie Lee Curtis are too old for their roles.
I don't actually think that that's necessarily true. I haven't played Borderlands, so I don't know what they are, but like I think they got some established actresses, and then you know I think it's kind of like one of those things that we were kind of talking about last week, right, John? Where I think we were talking about it before the show too, about like casting issues where if you look at a show like this and you say, well, the actresses are too old to play these types of characters, then are you like saying that when an actress gets to a certain age, they can no longer play in a role? Like, you know, or they are now designed only for certain types of roles. I think this is.
I think what their problem is that young teenagers, I mean, that are playing a game like this, when they run across those characters in the game, they see them as young, hot people who are their age. Do you know what I mean? So you get this illusion in your head as a teenager that girl is in the video game is my age. She's young, she's hot, she's obtainable. And then if it translates to a movie and you've got a 50-year-old actress playing the part, well, now those teenage kids are like, why the hell is a 50-year-old actress playing someone that in my mind was my age? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, in the same respect, I'm like thinking like, I think to myself like, oh,
it's not you and I complaining. It's these, 15, 20-year-old
younger.
People. Yeah.
I think my computer froze up. Oh no!
Well, you're right. I mean, it does kind of fall into the whole who should play what thing. I mean, are we going to be age discriminating too?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, but Jamie Lee Curtis has a little bit of a following because of the Halloween series, right? So I mean, like she's regularly playing somebody who kind of, I don't know, kicks the butt of a psycho dude killer or whatever, right? And Kate Blanchett has also played roles where she's like outside of her ordinary. And then if you go back to that, what's that? Bruce Willis and Helen Mirren, they were like
Red.
Yeah, Reds. I mean, that was a good movie. I mean, I thought it did really well. I think my issue with this is it's like flashy from a video game, and it's like to me it would be like them trying to make a Fortnite movie. Did they make a Fortnite movie?
Oh man,
I'm sure they will at some point.
Right, so maybe it should have been Fortnite instead of Borderlands.
And yeah, I guess the other thing too is I mean, Kevin Hart. I don't have we ever seen him play anything semi-serious? Like,
serious?
I mean,
yeah.
Is that character? I mean, like I said, I don't know much. I didn't play through the whole game, but is he like a comedian or is he just, what I mean?
But the thing is, maybe this movie is supposed to be like comedic in a way, right?
I mean, the game's not exactly that serious.
I mean, I imagine the game has like some elements of sort of like campiness to it, kind of like the way that they did that show with on Peacock Plus, based on the crazy driving game or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I still haven't watched that, but I've heard it was a really good show.
Oh my gosh, Ivan Hart is too small.
Too small. Well, he's only like 4 feet tall, right?
He's too small, and then Jenna Ortega should have been the main star. She's not much taller than Kevin Hart. Oh my gosh.
Well, there you go.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun, and like I said, even
okay. So Borderlands was kind of comedic. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, when
Yeah,
you're
okay.
killing people, it's like your slaughter. Like the old, like there would just be things that pop up and little
Gotcha.
funny phrases and stuff like that, and some of the things that they said. Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, I mean, the cast might work great because, like, to be quite frank, I think that a lot of video game movies just fail because they don't stick to they really don't stick to the source material that much. Like that Doom movie with The Rock, that was terrible, wasn't it?
Yes.
It had
I
nothing to do with
I like
Doom,
that one.
the video game. Like it really had nothing to do with it.
Well, the
And
last 15 minutes did.
maybe okay, but there was a lot of movies that have nothing that really just don't do the video games that they're based on any justice at all. And the only one that I really liked was the recent Tomb Raider with what's her butt there, the girl. Yeah, she like that.
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Yeah, because that like, I mean, it's kind of a mixture of two different Tomb Raider video games, but
Yes.
it really like had element like there were like that airplane scene where she's fallen. That you play that in the game almost exactly the way it happens in the movie, and there was a couple other things that were like almost shot for shot what happened in the movie and or in the video game, and my brother and I both really liked that. They translated that movie really well from the game to the film.
It's interesting that there hasn't been a sequel.
Unlike Uncharted, that was like went off on its own story. If they had followed the video game story, Uncharted I think would have been way better.
Well, the other half of the problem with Uncharted was Mark Wahlberg, but I mean,
Oh man, we're pulling all the punches today.
well, I just it's funny like the stuff that he supposedly has been involved with and then doesn't ever come out, and then the stuff that he shows up in. But yeah, I get what you're saying, John, about the Tomb Raider. I did like that version.
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought they did a really good job. I thought there was going to be another one. They should have just had immediately moved into making another one.
Yeah, well, something happened. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was because it bombed. There was something else going on. I remember my brother told me the whole story about it, but I don't remember it now. But like the actress wanted to do more, but the studio, after seeing the way the film came together, they wanted to go in a different direction. And there were some arguments between the director, the actress that was playing it, and the way the studio was looking at it as turning it into like a blockbuster franchise that was going to go completely off the rails. And they wanted to, and the director and the girl who played the Tomb Raider, they wanted it to stay at the same theme, the same like level of action, and the same like continue the story. You know what I mean? And there was some argument that the studio had saying that like if we could turn this into a bigger franchise, we'd have to do all this crap, and they couldn't agree on it. So the girl walked away, and it's stuck in limbo now.
And isn't her husband like did another video game? Wasn't he Assassin's Creed or something like that?
Is it really? Yeah, that was another terrible one.
Yeah, that's Michael
movie it was just awful compared to the games. Oh my god, that was so bad.
They could have did like a tie-in between the two.
Yeah, it was so bad.
So it made money. It made money. The budget was $94 million, and it grossed $275 worldwide.
No, not according to Jonathan. He said losing millions of dollars had a pretty big part of not making a sequel.
That's why I was saying. Yeah, I was replying to his.
Let's see. He's also saying that she walked away and hasn't been in a movie or TV show since. I think she was in some movie where she was trying to play a vampire or something, right?
You're right. I haven't seen her much.
She was Ex Machina. She was that. She was.
Oh yeah.
She was also the android in that other movie. She's been an android twice.
Irma Vep is the show that I'm talking about, where she was like a.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Something called the Green Knight.
Yep.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
terrible. That was
Yeah.
so bad.
Well, that's why you haven't
they?
seen it.
Yeah, The Green Knight was awful. It's one of those movies that you think it's about one thing and then it was about something totally different.
Firebrand.
There's a lot of people who have never been heard or seen from again. Do you remember back in the 90s, one of the Fondas, the red-haired girl, she was doing a lot of movies, and all of a sudden, one day, stopped being in movies. That was like another one who just dropped away. The man.
Yeah,
from
if you
Uncle-
look it up, Alicia Vikander, it said the director and Alicia Vikander wanted to keep the series going in a certain direction, and MGM said no. They wanted to take it in a direction that was completely ridiculous. So it created delays in the writing and a ballooning budget, and the reported disagreements between Vikander and the MGM studios kept from greenlighting a sequel.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah.
But the rights, they still have the rights.
Then they'll probably end up like doing what Roger Corman did with the Fantastic Four, right? Just making like some cheesy, low budget version just to hold on to the rights. Because I think that's why that Roger Corman Fantastic Four got made. Because the studio had the rights to the Fantastic Four and they had to produce a movie to be able to continue to hold the rights. And so they just put together that Fantastic Four movie over a weekend or whatever. That's why it turned out the way it did. And I think that's how they ended up. That's why Sony every once in a while will come out with a Spider-Man thing, right? Just to retain the rights. Because
one like when they made that Fantastic Four movie that they never even filmed it and everything, but never released it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
But they consider it a break-even movie because the movie cost $106 million to make. Tomb Raider did, and it said to break even they needed to gross $275 million worldwide, and worldwide it's only done 274.7. So it's considered a break-even movie.
That's what they're talking about in the chat right now. Sonny says the budget was 94. The movie would have had to do 3 times as much to break. He's saying 3 times as much to break even.
That's crazy.
And then they're talking about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. It says that this says it cost $106 million to make, and the break-even point was $275 million, and it made 274.7. So it's just under the break-even point.
Well, Star Wars has never made a profit.
They still consider it a break-even movie. They said,
yeah, it's never made a profit.
Are you serious?
It cost him $11 million to make the first Star Wars.
Never made a profit. No, I read something one time where they were like saying like there were some people who have like a royalty thing built into it that like once the tabulations are done, they get a percentage. But because like they continue to like market it somehow, that like that accounting never closes. So that so there's no way to say that it actually made money or not, because ultimately it could lose every dollar it ever made if with this continued open accounting, whatever. And that seems like it's like a regular thing for movies just to leave their accounting string open, something like that.
Huh.
Yeah, I've heard that too. For the way that they do the taxes and budgeting, they can keep it as long as they keep somehow making money off the film. They can keep the books open and claim they've never made a profit off it yet because it's still ongoing or something like that.
So every time you see it come out on DVD,
you
know, it's because they it's still spending money on marketing this thing. Not like anybody's ever seen it, right? Anyways, what's going on this week, you guys?
Oh, I don't know. I've been cleaning up and putting stuff on display, putting things out that I'm selling. I just did a whole bunch of stuff on eBay, and almost everything I put up on eBay yesterday sold immediately. I
Wow.
was like, Jesus.
Now
You do
you
the
gotta-
buy it now?
What's that?
You do the buy it now?
Yeah. There's one or two things I put up on auction today because I do my auctions so they end on a Saturday in the middle of the afternoon so that it ends at a good time, not middle of the night.
Yeah, that's the best way to go on that. I usually try to end them on Sunday.
But even some things I threw up, I was like, wow, the last time this sold on eBay, it sold for like $100. There's no way I'm going to get $100. But I said, I'll try it. And then if I have to lower it, I'll lower it later. And ding, it sold within like 10 minutes. I'm like, good Lord.
Somebody's looking for it. Somebody's looking for it.
I think yesterday I made like $300 on
Wow.
eBay.
That's pretty good.
What's this that Jonathan's saying?
He says, didn't the director of Lord of the Rings movies have to go to court for his full paycheck? It was his claim that these movies never made a profit. Yeah, I think that's pretty typical when they have like some sort of like percentage thing or something like that. They say, well, it didn't really grow. It didn't really make $1 billion because
Yeah.
But
That
you guys
makes
doing Toys and Fitness tomorrow?
I hope so. I'm not sure. I know Dean was working on some stuff last weekend, and we skipped it. But I've got some more exercises with my sandbag to show. And well, I don't. I don't have that many pickups.
Did you get anything new this week you want to show off?
No, not easily accessible. No.
All right. We haven't actually done that. John took off his headphones. He's not listening to us
He's
anymore.
calling it a day. Look at
No,
him.
I am.
Let me just take a nap here while you guys.
You want to know what's funny is I just realized that this whole time I had the headphones on.
You weren't using them. They weren't
Wasn't
plugged in.
I wasn't even using the damn thing.
not
I didn't
even
have them
plugged
on.
Oh my gosh.
There's your technical difficulty, John.
Right there you go, Jonathan. I never turned on my headphones, so I was sitting here going, "Why is Dan so quiet now?" And I'm going, "Wait a minute, it's because I don't have the headphones on. What the hell have I been doing?"
Well, that's funny.
John, what did you pick up this week that you want to show off? Anything?
What's nearby? I got all those GI Joe.
Nothing's within arm's reach.
I got a whole bunch of those GI Joe things. You know what I mean? And did that video on them. I got the Mauler tank to do, and there's like 6 vehicles sitting around that I do a video on.
It's fine. You got some risers coming. I saw you did a thing on you posted on those Amazon risers for $50 or whatever.
Yeah, I bought a whole nother pile of those. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I usually get that spice rack thing from Ross. It's like a 3-level spice rack with like the rubber and they're like white. So I
those are good.
I use those. But we went through those reveals pretty quick.
I'm doing the video I'm working on today, which I'll either have up. I'll probably put it up tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. It's on the Secret Wars. Dino found me a better Iron Man than what I had, and then he got me Captain America. So I did a video on those guys that I'm working on, and then I just won the Doom Roller, which is a really cool vehicle from Secret Wars. I got it for $15 with the box.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks pretty good.
It was amazing.
Oh, you know what I did get? I apologize, John. I completely forgot. I got your package, and yeah, and
I get the stickers, or what did I throw in there? A magnet or stickers or something? I don't know.
I have not. I set it down next to because my daughter got the mail and she gave it to me while I was like already for bedtime. I set it next to my chair, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, it was a magnet. I have like these stickers on the other side of my laptop case, right?
Do you want a sticker instead?
And I was gonna put it on there, and then I was like, oh man, I just deleted everything off of my hard drive.
Yeah.
With that magnet.
You need a sticker instead, or
it's fine. No, one day. I did want to show these things before.
I have this many. I can.
All right.
I have regular stickers. I have glitter stickers.
No glitter.
So they're like
no glitter.
Regular stickers, and then I have the magnets.
Show.
What about these Dune figures? Are you guys interested in these at all?
Are those McFarlane?
No.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the movie, though. I really
they-
think that's going to be cool.
They're amazing figures, but
Well, who's going to put out her as C-3PO?
Well, you're gonna have to do a head swap.
Remember, she just wore that metallic outfit, you know? Are they
Yeah.
doing an action figure of her with that?
No, you're gonna have to do. Look at that. Look at that weapon on there.
We got one of her from Spider-Man, and now we got one of her from Dune.
I think you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to make your own. But that's a Metropolis outfit. So, did they ever make a Metropolis action figure?
That was a Metropolis outfit?
Yeah, let me see. I thought so, right? Like, wasn't that from the movie?
I didn't know Metropolis
figure?
had see-through parts.
Let me see if I can find a good picture.
I thought it was just some. I thought it was just some fashion designer who did something crazy and got her to wear it. You know.
Yeah, this is kind of what I saw when I saw it. This robot.
Yeah, but that robot doesn't have see-through parts.
No, of course not. But I mean,
it needs see-through.
Yeah,
I
it is
felt
very
like it was
similar.
kind of like that.
Yeah, it is very similar to that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of seeing when I saw the outfit. But yeah,
That's a cool movie for its time, but it's very hard to watch these days.
well, a lot of stuff, right? Like that you thought was really cool back in the day is like hard to watch. And let's talk about this lunar lander thing, this thing that landed on the moon. We haven't seen one picture yet, and we realize it's
Allegedly?
because it's laying on its side.
You mean allegedly landed on the moon?
It
Yeah,
landed.
allegedly landed on the moon, John.
Yeah.
And while it was flying over the moon, it could not take a picture of the Jeep that's supposedly up there.
Oh, it's up there.
Allegedly left behind on one of the 12 missions to the moon. One of the 12 times we sent people to drive a Jeep around. Somehow they got the Jeep there. I think they took it up in parts. It was only available to the last
Yeah,
guy,
that's
right?
right.
I mean, this tinfoil spaceship would barely hold 3 people, but somehow they were able to fit a Jeep on.
They got a whole Jeep up there.
They got
Yeah.
a whole Jeep
Yeah.
to the moon.
Mhm.
But I think they actually took 2 of them up. I think there's 2 different Jeeps
Right.
up there.
with a full set of golf clubs, and
Yeah, that's right,
probably
yeah.
the robotic caddy is still up there, but not
You know,
one.
You know
Not
what's
one.
probably going to happen someday is one of those golf balls that he hit out into space.
It's
But
gonna
you can just hit it. If you hit it real good, it'll leave the moon's gravity and keep flying. It's going to crash into like Alpha Centauri one day, and they're going to be like, "Dunk. Oh,
Didn't he hit it
I
towards the
can't-
Earth? Isn't it gonna like eventually run into the space station at like 200 million miles per hour?
No, I just think the golf ball's going to go to some other planetary system and hit some alien in the head, and then they're going to figure out the trajectory and go, it came from that planet. They're going to
It
get
would.
pissed off, get in their ships of war, come over here and be like, we're going to kill you all for hitting my friend in the head with a golf ball.
Listen, it was so interesting to me, that whole thing, because one, AT&T had a huge outage while this thing was preparing to land on the moon, right?
Mhm.
That was coincidental, probably. And
Yeah.
then like a huge healthcare system shut down at the same time. Very coincidental. I mean, those things had nothing to do with each other. And then you have this like spacecraft, and they were live streaming the landing, but the video of the landing was a simulation. So it was like, they couldn't live stream the camera from the ship.
No, the aliens knocked it out.
I mean,
They didn't want us to see what's really up there. That's
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
that guy, who's that guy that does SpaceX that owns that changed the name of Twitter? What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Okay, yeah. He
How do you
sent
not know who Elon Musk is?
he sent a Tesla with a spacesuit into space, and that thing live streamed
It
for
did, yeah.
days and days.
You can
and
still
days.
see it. No, you can still go on his website and see it floating around up there.
So he can live stream something that's drifting off into space,
Yeah.
right, to YouTube, but these guys can't live stream during their live stream. Their
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar lander
Well, it is partially because of what Dandy's saying. We're not ready to see everything that's up on the moon.
Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Okay. So
Well, you want to hear a story? Okay.
all right, go ahead.
I don't know.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly.
So I have a video. I took this video a while back, but my dad said not to release it to the public till after he dies, unless they come forward ahead of time. But my father worked on the moon orbiter, the lunar orbiter. Okay.
Okay.
And he was working at Kodak at the time when they did this, and the NASA actually came to Kodak. Well, he was first working at Bell Labs, and they took some people from Bell Labs and brought them over to Kodak, and they said, we need to make a camera system that can take good high definition photos of the moon so that we can pick a spot to land. So my father got picked on the team to make the cameras and attach them to the satellite for the lunar orbiter that would take the photos. And when the orbiter was going around and taking the photos, he got sent to I think they went to Houston actually, and was in the room. They were in a little room. There might have been like 10 people, and they started seeing the images come up on the screen. And he was like, that was going line by line. And the first few images that got downloaded were just what you'd expect, what you see every day. But then all of a sudden there was one with something was up there. And they were like, there shouldn't be anything on the moon. He said it looked like, in the image, it looked like if you were sitting in the air on Earth, looking down at the ancient ruins of like Greece or Rome. You know what I mean?
I've seen this in 1987 where the guy showed the pyramid on Mars, but yeah.
Well, it's not a pyramid. They didn't see a pyramid, okay? They just saw it looked like square buildings with rooms in it. Okay. Like you would see if you were looking at the ruins of some of those square buildings.
Yes. Yes.
Like in Rome, you know, and I lived in Rochester, Gary. That's where we lived. That's where I grew up, was Rochester, New York. So they got that, and they just started discussing like who could have built that, and then they got a second image with some stuff in it, and a third image with some stuff in it, and then people came into the room, and they said, "This is all classified. None of you guys saw any of this." And they asked them all to leave, and only like these new people got to stay and download the rest of the images. And he said that one or two of those images that he saw with the stuff on the moon, when it got released to the public, they were airbrushed out. He's like, they weren't the same images were released to the public, but they didn't have the structures in them. And when my father later went and talked to some of the scientists that were in there, they said that they don't believe it was aliens, because my dad asked, "Do you think those are?" And they said no. They think it's the civilization that existed before us that got wiped out in a cataclysm 10 or 12,000 years ago.
Oh,
and so it very well could be that like my dad. He told me this when I was like, well. He didn't tell us about even working on the lunar orbiter till just a few years ago, because he had a 30-year non-disclosure agreement that he signed. So he didn't even tell us, the family members. My mom didn't know, us kids didn't know until the 30-year agreement was up. So he just told us a few years back. And then he told me about the stuff that they saw and how they airbrushed the images. And I was like, you're bullshitting me, right? And he's like, no. And my he's not the kind of guy to make this shit up. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah, no, I get it.
He's totally like into like stock market, making money, and he's a serious guy all the time. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But he doesn't think that they're aliens. He thinks it's from, and he told me when I was a kid, even though he couldn't tell me what he worked on and what was going on, he always told me, he said, pay attention to these archaeologist stuff and historians and things, because what you learn in school is not the real history of our society. We are a group of people who forgot where we came from.
Yeah.
Because there was people.
And you guys live in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
Yeah.
we do. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He thought there were people that were around tens of thousands of years ago that got wiped out, and then civilization had to restart.
I have a question, so you can ask your dad, and he can film this if he wants to like answer this question later. Like have you release it in your videos. So this is, I think, really, really important. When they were working on the moon, have you ever? Let's go back. You ever heard this song called Kodachrome or whatever? It's like Kodachrome.
I'm gonna take
In
my
the
coat
world,
away.
bright colors, greens and summers. You know what I'm talking about, right? So obviously we're talking about like Kodachrome film, which was color film, blah, 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 blah. So please ask why they did not take any color film or a color camera to the moon to take pictures. They took them all in black and white.
No, they didn't. It was color.
So that now they're trying to colorize the film.
No, it was color.
So what is it?
What happened is that the original feed that came into NASA was in color from the moon, but when
photographic film.
But when they even the video was in color. But what they did is when they broadcast it out, when they sent it out to the stations, the networks got it from two different places that were degrading the quality of the.
Because they didn't want you to see the structures of those buildings or the.
No, it was just the way television worked back then.
So let me ask you.
It was the way that they could get. It was the way that they could get a live feed. They couldn't handle the bandwidth for something that was in color, so they had to downgrade it in order to send it to the news station.
Right. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
It was a limitation in our technology for television back then.
A challenge to anyone in the chat and either one of you guys. Scour the internet and find me one picture of the moon where I can clearly see there's a Jeep up there. Not the shadow of something that with a circle around it that says this is the Jeep, but an actual telescopic picture of the moon that you could actually see there's something on there.
There's a laser reflector up there. You can shoot a laser at the moon.
What I'm saying is you cannot find me one telescope. We got these fantastic telescopes that can see Mars, right? But nobody can aim it at the moon and take a clear picture of this Jeep that's supposedly sitting up there. There's two of them. So you got two shots to get a picture, and the thing is, I think the still cameras they took to the moon were black and white. That's what I was always led to believe. Now, the NASA images of the astronauts on the moon are all in black and white, but they've just started colorizing them.
So I think they have
color pictures. Why wouldn't they just take a color camera in the first place?
Wait, isn't this right here one? I just put it in Google and it came up immediately.
Let me see. Come on. Share the screen.
Like you could see where Apollo landed. You could see the
but is it like somebody drew a little circle and said this is where Apollo landed? And it
look. Okay, hold on here. Let me share the screen. You can kind of see it. I see it.
Yeah, because you want to see it. Oh yes. Oh, and then you're gonna try to convince me. No. There it is, right there. It's right there. Look. I've seen the same picture, John.
That's the little radar dish
thing. Oh, and that's supposed to be the Jeep right there?
Hey.
No, that's the radar. Like the little... Come on.
Come on, this is what I'm talking about.
I mean, how good? You know how small it is compared to the... That's like trying to see your house from Mars.
So they supposedly take a picture of Tranquility Base, but you can't see anything there. And then they obscurely just drew a line, and you're supposed to just imagine whatever that is. You really telling me like I'm supposed to see something in that picture?
Descent stage.
I just need to see those things.
Yeah.
But I would like to know why they didn't take a color camera and why they didn't take a Super 8. It seemed like they took a regular 8 film camera, one that you had to like hand wind up. And
I know it feels like it, right?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just take an actual, like, camera that maybe ran on batteries or something. Unless it was all mechanical. They just wanted all mechanical in case, like, the battery failure or something like that.
So there, look at that one.
Once again, what am I supposed to be looking at there?
Oh, hold on. Let me move it up. There you go. So there's the descent stage. It landed on. That's where they landed in the thing.
This looks like another crater.
And you see the lines they drove over here. There's
I don't know what those lines are.
The vehicle. That's the freaking.
So instead of
formula.
using a white arrow, they just drew like a black line on here.
A black line. You know, those are real. Look at them. They were doing burnouts right here. See, they were just doing. They were running in circles right there.
For this LRV.
Over here is where that guy fell asleep.
Yeah, no. Well, then what's this thing down here next to that mound? There's like a dark spot. Is that something too?
What are you talking about?
They should have highlighted that.
Oh, all those little arrows? Well, those are giant arrows that we laid down.
Arrows are supposed to convince you that they're pointing to something. But I mean, come on, you can't get a better picture than that.
I meant the black arrows. Those black arrows are things we laid down on the moon. Those are actually like we laid a bunch of black arrows down on the moon.
This is the most hilarious thing to me. Plus, they just landed a couple of $1 billion lander on the moon, but they couldn't live stream any video from it. You had to watch a simulation, which looked pretty realistic. It was confusing because on some news channels, they had their banner covering up the words simulation. But if you actually went to the companies and you watched it like from theirs, you can see on the screen where they were showing the lander, it actually said simulation. But if you went to like CNN or one of these other ones, their banner covered that up. So I can imagine if you were watching that on like the news and their banner was covering up the word of simulation, you might have thought, oh, this is really happening. That's the video of the landing.
So all the stuff that's up right now, it says highlights. We had a successful lunar landing of the
Odyssey. A picture of a room with a bunch of people cheering.
They're claiming it's a victory, like a successful landing, but no one could watch it. So who knows if it really landed?
Oh my gosh!
If they're calling it an intuitive machine, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, we're done with that.
That's a wheel of cheese. It's a wheel of cheese.
Done with that. Excuse me, Bigfoot is delivering pizza
to me and my dad.
You know what, Gary? I do believe you. I think that's why we're not finding Bigfoot out in the woods anymore, is because he went to the store and found a couple of razors, and he's just a really big dude now that works at Domino's.
No, he works at Office Depot.
I mean, John, look up. He could be Bigfoot. Look at that beard.
Don't give it away. That's the other secret of our family. That's her other secret family. Mom went in the woods, found a baby Bigfoot, shaved it, and that's who I bet they raised me.
We know you're not Bigfoot.
Oh, really? You sure?
Let's see. All right. I think we pounded this into the ground. We have no more toys to talk about.
This horse is nothing but a pile of pulp.
All right, you guys good?
I'm good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Toy Duo. We'll be back next week, where maybe there'll be some more toys we can talk about, and maybe we'll finally get some video from the moon showing us that they actually did land. You know, I'm wondering how they might get that thing to stand up. You think it has like a cable that'll shoot down, and then like and then
roll itself over? Yeah.
I think they're screwed. I don't think it does.
No, I think they just. I don't think they like.
You don't had any idea for that? Yeah.
No. Now they're going to have to send a man up there, and the guy's going to walk outside, push it over, and then he's going to get back on the ship and come all the way back to Earth and be like, "Geez."
They're going to be like, "Hopefully, this thing will still be up here in 2026 when we actually send people."
I don't think NASA's going to send people. I think it's going to be SpaceX or Blue Origin or someone like that.
I'm sure NASA's just going to pay them to do it. All right, everybody. Anyways, that's the show. We're done. We kicked the dead horse here. See you later, everybody.
Stay on.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.
And TV and movies too.